Good afternoon. My name is Emily Castro. We are here with Mr. Ramsey Goodrich from a managing partner at Carter, Morse and Goodrich. Thank you so much for joining us today at 2025 Future of Deal Making Summit.
Thanks, Emily. It's great to be here.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been focusing on lately?
So Carter Morse, we're founded 38 years ago and solely focus on representing families and founders in their once-in-a-lifetime transaction, where the transaction tends to be much more important. And so we've had that dedicated focus for a number of years now, and it's a lot of fun, and it's more meaningful than your average deal where you're just flipping a portfolio company to another portfolio company. It's people's lives, and it's generations of lives. When we talk about what the impact of that transaction might be, we never talk about what it happens to their dad or their kids. It always tends to be the grandparents or the grandkids. Would my grandparents be proud? Would my grandkids be proud of what we've accomplished here and the reason we're doing it? So it's driven out of passion more than anything else.
I love that. And you work out of passion? Yeah. Where do you see the next wave of growth coming from in your area of focus?
So with families and founders, it's really interesting because for the last several years, it's been a really challenging market. But even if you zoom even further back, you have to look at economic cycles. And if you go back to the crash of '87, and then 7 years later, we had the technology bubble, the real estate bubble of '93, and then 7 years later was the tech bubble, and then 7 years later was the economic great financial crisis, and then 7 years later was 2016, 2017. Do you remember what happened there?
Remind me.
It's a trick question. Nothing happened. And so we missed an economic cycle when a lot of sellers would traditionally sell, when the stock market shows some weakness or there's some fear in the marketplace. So then you roll it forward, so the next real economic cycle should have been 23, 24, which it was, but we'll get back to that. But in the interim, you had COVID, which was impossible to just try to manage through. And then you had supply chain disruptions that you couldn't get your material. And then you had massive inflation. And then you had interest rates going through the roof faster than it ever could. And then you had a pending election. And then it was immigration. And then it was tariffs. And all of a sudden, they haven't been able to sell for 6, 7, 8 years, if not longer. So I think we're going to have what I've nicknamed the silver tsunami. There's a tidal wave of deals that are coming. This one's going to be bigger. This is going to be a tsunami wave of deals that are going to come from business owners that have, how should I say, hair of a certain color.
A great color.
Yeah. And so I think you're going to see this massive wave of exits. We have a generational shift in the market right now where kids don't want to work on the factory floor like they used to. They're not as passionate about family businesses as they used to be. There are those that are incredibly passionate, incredibly successful, but there's also this next generation that want to be internet superstars or want to be doctors, lawyers, or heaven forbid, an investment banker. And so we're going to see this wave of deals that are going to come. So now we're working with so many clients just to get ready. It might be a year or 2 or 3 from now, but my only advice to any business owner is start planning now.
That's good advice. And anyone watching, please, I think this is the person that we want to be listening to. So tonight you'll be receiving some award recognition, and while awards celebrate results, I'm curious to know the story behind this win, if possible, that most people don't see.
Yeah, thanks. We're actually nominated for 3 awards tonight, which I'm really excited about being here. And what you don't see is the impact you have behind the scenes. All right, this is not an award that we won. It's an award about a partnership between a great family business and the next great partner for that business. A lot of times we talk about buyers and sellers and investors and growth. We actually try not to use the words buyer, because that means the end of whatever it is you built, or investor, which means the growth or more focus on more aggression or more risk-taking. But we really focus on what that partnership looks like. So what we're most proud of here for the 3 awards that we're winning is really about that partnership and what it means to the families behind it. So it's going to be really neat to see where these businesses go. It's fun. One of our core values is engaging personally. So we stay in touch with all of our clients. And it's really fun to hear the stories a year, 2, 5, 10 years later that how well they've done and how they were so nervous coming into the deal and how passionate they are still there. So it's what you don't see on paper is all that.
Well, it's incredible to hear someone speak so lively and passionately about
Thank
this.
you.
So it's very refreshing. Thank you so much for sharing all with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Ramsey, for being here today.
My pleasure.
Thank you for tuning into M&A TV. If this episode enhanced your strategic outlook, please like, subscribe, and share it with your network. For more critical insights and high-level interviews, follow us on all our socials and visit our hub at www.maadvisor.com. I'm Roger Argonaldo, and we'll see you next time right here on M&A TV, the definitive voice of dealmakers.